So was 5 a.m. in Bali when I crawled out of bed to jump on a sales call with someone from America. Here I am in the office, hour-long sales call. It's a rule that I have that I need to actually implement on not to take sales calls from someone that is doing $0 to $5,000 per month in revenue. Beginners have so many limiting beliefs in terms of investing in themselves, to where you see the real winners in life, they're okay investing thousands of dollars or whatever it is for the potential upside. And to where this guy, I'm not going to give his name or anything, but 36 years old, still scared of his dad's opinion on whether he should make a tiny investment in himself. So you can see why most people stay stuck in their same patterns, their same limiting beliefs, and never get to live the life they want, because they are so committed to their life of playing a small game. So question to you is, what are the things in front of you that you should do that might be uncomfortable that would possibly lead to a much better life? So yeah, 6 a.m. now, going to get into content creation more, something that's new to me, and keep running the business from out here in Bali. So yeah, wild. It's something just in terms of sales as well. If you have a coaching or consulting or any business and someone schedules a call and let's say they make $0 to $5,000 per money, or $0 to $5,000 per month, it's not that much money, to where they're going to have a lot more limiting beliefs, to where we have a higher level program, founders that have no problem investing in themselves. So something we're implementing is just going to be canceling the calls from 0 to 5K, maybe sending them a video like, hey, this is a price, this is what it is. But it's a huge waste of time when you get on calls, spend an hour of your own time, and at the end of the day, they're scared of their dad's opinion if, they invested this money and they're 36 years old. That's the caliber of people you're going to get when you take calls with lower end individuals, obviously. Not lower end, obviously. We're all equal in some ways, but some people are just scared to be decisive and make big, bold moves, which is what it takes to be successful. So something we're implementing in our business is just going to be canceling these calls, because it is a huge waste of time. And oftentimes, if you really have to, like on the sales calls, being pretty pushy, because, I woke up at 5 a.m., I broke it down into a payment plan that was virtually nothing and held his ass to the fire. Come on, you're not gonna be scared of your dad's opinion. This decision only has upside, no downside really. And yeah, just gave him such a no-brainer offer, to where people of that level of income, they have so many limiting beliefs that they're better off in, I don't know. It's why they're probably going to stay stuck in that revenue range of making 0 to 5K, living a small game. So, yep. As I was saying, a huge important lesson, the sales calls, to where you get on and you really have to convince and enroll someone and break through their limiting beliefs, they're probably not going to be a great client. To where you'll notice in business, the best possible clients are the ones that join, they're excited, they're able to make the payment, the investment on the call. Once I had a great client that we helped, they raised a Series A, then a Series B. We were able to, their lifetime value was $30,000, $40,000 in our agency. They asked for a proposal. I said, we don't do proposals. And that statement alone is what made them close, because everyone else does proposals or make these long, beautiful things, hoping that you pay them. And I'm just like, no, we don't do proposals. There's nothing that I could put on a proposal that I can share with you on this call. And he was like, oh, that's interesting. And this is coming from a very successful founder. And, he ended up, I allowed him, all right, talk with your team, make a decision after the call. Usually I try and collect the payment on the call, because when someone says they need to think about it or whatever, and you give them days to think about it, they usually talk themselves off. They talk themselves into playing a smaller game, to where it's usually just a no in disguise. It's I need to think about it, give me some time. So yeah, that client though, for example, was one. Sometimes there genuinely are reasons to where they, want to talk about it. Maybe it's a bigger team, you know, bigger corporation, and they actually need to talk with people on it. But oftentimes it's not. So you just have to feel out the sales call and realize, like, okay, maybe this is someone that I should, let go and think about it for a day or two. For example, the client that I closed that was, you know, ended up investing $40,000 into us. Like, he genuinely needed to get off the call and think about it and talk with some team members and do whatever, to where if I pushed that sale really hard, I probably would have not closed him. To where this client, they're making $0 to $5,000. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to take these calls. So I was much more keen to be much pushier, kind of, put his ass to the fire and be like, all right, like, make a decision here. Honestly, like, you don't need to think about it. I didn't say these words exactly, but we're just more firm, because oftentimes if they need to think about it and they've only made $0 to $5,000 per month, limiting beliefs dominate their entire life. So they're going to talk themselves off. He'll be scared of his dad's opinion, doesn't want to make a bad decision. And it's really interesting in life, when someone isn't successful, they're usually always looking at the downsides of things. Like, what if it doesn't work out? What could go wrong? What if they don't give me my refund? What if, it's not all that they promised? To where people that are successful, they look at the positive in life. They realize that, wow, this has a lot of upside. What if this does go right? What if what, he's telling me is true? What if this does transform my business? All right, I'm willing to take a bet on myself. So it's a huge thing in life to shift your perspective from the negative to the positive and see the upsides in situations, not just the downsides. I obviously consider both, but you'll see people that aren't really successful, they have a proclivity to look at the negative. To where successful ones, they see the potential, the upside. So business update here, 6 a.m. in Bali, going to get a lot of work done today, and we'll have some more updates. Subscribe, follow along, see the journey.